Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. Shopper marketing is a mantra consumer goods companies have been chanting for a while now. It began in modern trade outlets in the last decade. Of late, though, these companies have started investing in shopper marketing in the small or general trade stores, and that is because these stores contribute to nearly 90% of their total sales. Brands are doing everything from sampling to making testers available to reinventing the way their packs look to get noticed. Nikita Rana says that companies like GCPL and Marico are reporting a substantial increase in sales as a result of shopper marketing in the small stores.
Four months ago, Dabur launched a sampling drive for its juice brand Real Active Fiber Plus in stores like this across 5 cities. The company claims that sales in these stores were 4 times more than a regular kirana where the same brand was available. A similar strategy was used for Pudina Hajmola, which has today become a 10 crore rupee brand within a year of launch. The company is confident that these results are due to the intensive localized effort that it has put in to reach the consumer.
When our new range of apricot and the Fiber Plus got launched, we actually had a series of interventions in the marketplace where consumers got to not only see the product but also experience the product by tasting it, because there is no substitute for tasting in a food category, and this worked brilliantly well for us.
Since shoppers at these stores tend to come in with ready lists, they ask for brands by name. Marico's rice brand, Safola Rice, that was launched in February last year, was finding it tough to make an impact despite getting big advertising support. But things have changed in the last 8 months. The company says that the brand is reporting between a 20 to 30% increase in sales thanks to this new product pack. Now the company invests more in making the packaging more attractive and less on point of sale communication.
If you observe how rice is bought in India, like with a lot of the consumer looks and feels at it. She tastes it, she touches it. Now when and this is how rice is sold, 99% of rice sold in India is sold like that. So when you're moving to packaged rice, the consumer misses that experience. So what are we trying to do right now? So in packaging, we've made an intervention in packaging wherein we have a transparent window on all our packs so the consumer can see the rice.
Consumer goods companies have always relied on retailers to push their brands and have elaborate incentive schemes for them, offering them a bunch of goodies for meeting sales targets. Last year, Godrej Consumer Products decided that it would spend on getting better display in the stores rather than just relying on the retailer's recommendation. The company now spends less on retailer incentives and more on visual merchandising. So they are willing to pay to grab these prime spots. Under the counter, the rack behind the retailer, and then the rack behind the shopper.
What we realized was, because the number of consumers were high, these outlets were usually high revenue stores, the number of SKUs also was high. And when we actually quantified, not more than 1 to 2% or a 3% of products were really given a push by the retailer, because he did not have the time or interest to push your product.
Sales staff representing brands are often college students or fresh graduates hired by the company's agency or outreach partner. In many cases, they could even be the company's own sales staff. And while companies are constantly updating their shopper marketing insights with the help of their research agency, collecting data via shopper interviews and video recordings could take up to 2 to 3 years sometimes to compile on a national basis.
Parachute therapy is an expert brand. It is the ultimate cure, if I can say that, for hair fall. So consumers are very concerned about their hair, and especially women, and they have many questions, which we found that the retailer was not able to answer. Because he was not able to answer, we never used to convert it into sales. So we started putting more information inside with the pack in different languages, so that the consumer could actually get all the answers she wanted.
It is about understanding the triggers of engagement that defines approach in modern retail. It's also about understanding how the consumer communication to the shoppers can be effective in a modern trade setting. Because in a modern trade setting, it is about whether Is it to get into more baskets? Is it to drive up the basket spend, or is it to increase the frequency of purchase? These are the questions one is asking in a modern trade environment. Some of these learnings are equally applicable in a general trade environment.
Most of the marketing which essentially focuses on consumption, that who was the user, why will she or he use your product, I think not enough attention was paid out to the decision making that happens at the shop floor. And this discussion, this discourse on purchase decisions at the shop floor got in an organized way with the modern trade growth in last 4 to 5 years, and then the realization that there's a lot more we can do in a structured way even in a general trade.
Even though shopper marketing currently accounts for just 5 to 6% of an FMCG company's marketing spend, this component is seeing blistering growth of about 40% year on year. Currently, most companies use research agencies to get shopper marketing insights. But with ad agencies like Ogilvy, TBWA and Leo Burnett increasing investments to develop expertise in this area, FMCG companies may soon start partnering with them as well.